Imagine standing at the edge of the night sky, gazing beyond the familiar swirl of our Milky Way. There, past the arms of our own galaxy, lies an ocean of darkness scattered with islands of light, millions of galaxies adrift in the cosmic sea, each one a city of stars, each one ancient, immense, and unreachable. Yet humanity has always asked the forbidden question: what if we could go further? What if survival demanded that we look not just beyond the stars we know, but beyond the very galaxy that birthed us? The scale is staggering. The nearest great galaxy, Andromeda, is over 2 million light-years away. Distances so vast that light itself, the fastest thing in the universe, takes eons to cross them. To imagine traveling there is to stretch the limits of physics, of engineering, of imagination itself. And yet, in the silence of the cosmos, the idea lingers like a whisper. Could another galaxy become our refuge, a sanctuary against the fading light of our own? Tonight, we venture into this profound possibility, a journey beyond the familiar constellations, past the boundaries of the Milky Way, and into the uncharted realms where science meets wonder. Come, let us ask the unthinkable. What if humanity found a new home, far beyond our galaxy? Far above the familiar arch of our night sky lies a question so vast it borders on the impossible. Imagine a civilization forced to abandon the Milky Way itself, not just the solar system, not just our local stars, but the entire spiral of light we call home. To even speak of such a journey is to step into a scale where human imagination falters. Beyond our galaxy stretches a darkness filled with countless other worlds, each a glittering island adrift in the black sea of space. And yet, across those endless gulfs, the idea lingers. Could one of them become our sanctuary? Could another galaxy hold the key to humanity's survival? The paradox strikes immediately. The nearest spiral galaxy, Andromeda, lies 2.5 million light-years away. If the speed of light were a runner, sprinting tirelessly through the void, it would need 25 full human lifetimes just to cross from Earth to the first flicker of that destination. And yet light is still the fastest traveler known to physics. For us, bound to engines of fire and metal, such a gulf seems absolute. But history has always shown that what seems unreachable is precisely where human ambition begins its climb. If we dared to imagine this leap, what forces would guide us or stop us? What does it mean to set our sights not on a planet, not on a star, but on an entire new galaxy waiting in the shadows beyond our own? To place this vision into perspective, we must first widen our gaze. The Milky Way is not an isolated jewel. It is but one swirl in a vast cosmic archipelago. Hundreds of billions of galaxies stretch outward in all directions, scattered across a canvas 93 billion light-years wide. Each galaxy is a colossal city of suns, its arms spiraling with light, its core burning with unimaginable power. To stand on Earth and look upward is to peer through a window into this ocean of possibility. And yet, the distance between these islands is staggering. If the Milky Way were shrunk down to the size of a dinner plate, the nearest plate, the Andromeda Galaxy, would rest across an entire continent. The void between them is not empty, but woven with dark matter and thin threads of intergalactic gas, a silent expanse where time itself seems stretched. Within this gulf, light drifts for millions of years before arriving at its destination. It is in this unimaginable scale that our question takes shape. What would it mean for humanity to sail across the dark currents of the cosmos, to leave behind the familiar spiral of our own galaxy and search for shelter among stars we have never seen? The thought invites both awe and unease. The science of such a journey begins with limits we cannot ignore. Our fastest spacecraft today, racing outward from the solar system, would take tens of thousands of years just to reach the nearest star, Proxima Centauri. Barely a stone's throw compared to galactic scales. To dream of crossing millions of light years demands something far beyond engines and fuel. It demands a mastery of physics itself. The universe, however, does not make this easy. Space is bound by cosmic speed limits. Nothing with mass may travel faster than light. Even if humanity found a way to harness fusion drives, antimatter propulsion, or the raw power of starlight, the gulf to another galaxy would remain nearly insurmountable. Every advance in technology pushes us forward, but the numbers remain merciless. Millions of years, billions of generations, an odyssey so long it dissolves the meaning of time as we know it. And yet, within these barriers lie whispers of possibility. Strange theories of warping space, bending time, or creating bridges between the stars. Could the very laws of the cosmos hide the pathways to other galaxies, waiting for us to uncover them? Hidden within the mathematics of the cosmos are ideas that seem almost like riddles. Einstein's theory of general relativity revealed that space and time are not rigid, but can be bent, curved, even folded by the presence of mass and energy. This insight opens a door, at least in thought, to the possibility of shortcuts through the universe. Wormholes, tunnels carved through the fabric of space-time, have long haunted both scientific journals and the dreams of storytellers. If they exist, they could connect distant galaxies in a single leap, transforming the impossible into the attainable. But the physics is mercilessly complex. A wormhole, if stable, would demand exotic forms of matter to keep its throat open, substances that defy our current understanding of energy. Without them, such passages collapse in an instant, shutting like a clenched fist before anything could pass through. The equations do not forbid them outright, but neither do they promise them as gifts. They remain theoretical shadows, glimpses of a universe more flexible than we have yet dared to touch. Still, the thought lingers. What if, hidden in the dark web of cosmic structure, there are unseen bridges linking the galaxies? Could humanity one day step through such a corridor and emerge beneath an alien sky, in a galaxy untouched by our history? To grasp the enormity of such a leap, imagine the most extreme example nature itself provides. Galaxies do not remain fixed in place. They move, drawn together by gravity across the depths of space. In fact, our own Milky Way and the Andromeda Galaxy are already on a collision course. In roughly 4 billion years, their spiral arms will stretch and tangle, stars flung into new orbits as the two giants merge into one colossal elliptical galaxy. This titanic dance is slow, silent, and yet unimaginably violent. Stars themselves may rarely collide, but their gravitational fields will twist and tear the cosmic landscape, igniting waves of starbirth in clouds of gas. It is a reminder that even galaxies are not eternal sanctuaries. They shift, evolve, and in time vanish into new forms. If we seek refuge beyond our own, we must recognize that every destination is itself a moving target, bound to the same restless tides of the universe. But if galaxies can cross such gulfs and merge, drawn together by invisible forces, could humanity not one day find a way to ride those same currents? Might the great collision of Milky Way and Andromeda offer more than destruction? Perhaps a bridge to survival? History reminds us that these questions are not born only in the present. For centuries, humanity has looked to the skies and asked what lies beyond. The first telescopes revealed the faint smudges of light we once thought were clouds within our own Milky Way. It was only in the early 20th century that Edwin Hubble proved these smudges were entire galaxies, vast islands of stars far outside our own. With that revelation, the universe expanded overnight, and humanity's horizons shifted forever. That moment was more than a discovery. It was a redefinition of our place in the cosmos. No longer were we inhabitants of a single grand spiral, but members of a universe brimming with galaxies beyond counting. Each one carried the weight of possibility, countless stars, countless worlds, countless futures. The idea of reaching them was unthinkable, and yet the knowledge of their existence planted a seed. Curiosity took root, and with it, the first whispers of journeys greater than any we had ever imagined. If the simple act of looking upward could change the scale of our dreams so profoundly, what might the next revelation bring? Could a discovery waiting in the dark reshape not only our knowledge of the universe, but the destiny of our species? For humanity, the idea of finding refuge beyond our galaxy is not just a question of physics. It is a question of survival. Stars are not eternal. Our sun, bright and steady though it seems, will one day exhaust its fuel, swelling into a red giant before collapsing into a white dwarf. Entire galaxies age in similar ways, their star-forming gas consumed, their brilliance fading until only embers remain. If we are to endure longer than the life of our own stars, we must look outward, beyond the Milky Way, to seek places where light still burns. The scale of such a migration is staggering. It would not be a single journey, but the inheritance of countless generations, ships becoming worlds in themselves, carrying cultures, histories, and hopes across gulfs of time so immense they blur the line between voyage and civilization. Survival, in this sense, would demand more than technology. It would require a reimagining of what it means to be human. And still, the haunting question remains: would another galaxy truly be a refuge, or merely a pause before the next cosmic shadow falls? To imagine the farthest horizons is to confront escalation itself. Even if humanity one day crossed the void and seeded life in another galaxy, the universe continues its relentless march. Galaxies drift farther apart as space itself expands. The great cosmic web stretches, its filaments thinning, its lights growing more distant. In the distant future, entire galaxies will slip beyond reach, receding faster than even light can chase them. The universe will not only grow darker, it will grow lonelier. In that vision, refuge becomes a race against time. Each leap across the stars is temporary, each sanctuary fragile, until the very structure of the cosmos denies us passage. Beyond our galaxy may lie safety for millennia, perhaps even eons, but eventually the expansion of space will close every door. To survive, humanity would need to outrun not just extinction, but the universe itself. And so the dream intensifies. Could there be a final escape, a way to break free of the very limits of space-time, to stand outside the horizon of cosmic decay? Or are we forever bound to a universe that is slowly slipping beyond our grasp? In the end, the question of refuge beyond our galaxy transforms into something greater than science alone. It becomes a mirror held up to our deepest fears and hopes. We are a species that builds stories of survival, of endurance, of finding light in the shadows. The dream of reaching another galaxy is, at its core, a dream of carrying our fire into eternity. Even if the stars die, even if galaxies drift into silence, we long to believe that some fragment of us might endure. Perhaps that fragment will be human descendants, transformed by generations into beings scarcely recognizable to us today. Perhaps it will be the whispers of our culture, our art, our memories, encoded into machines that travel where flesh cannot. Or perhaps it will be nothing at all, only the echo of a species that once looked upward and dared to dream beyond its cradle. What if, in seeking refuge among distant galaxies, we discover that the true refuge was never out there, but in the act of striving itself, the relentless reaching for what lies beyond?